r/rules horror. Posted by u/GraceandPiston. Rules for GraveMart Night Shift. Part 1. So, you're the new addition to the night shift? I'd congratulate you, but this isn't a position to praise. Yes, we do some important work and pick up on the slack that the previous crew missed, but there's far more than stocking shelves when it comes to this time of night. Here are some things to note about the night shift. Drill it into your head if needed. Don't try to make loopholes with the rules, just follow them like a normal person. I made this list for you to be safe, not to lawyer it. Rules for night crew. 1. Follow the dress code. This is one of the few rules that isn't enforced via direct danger, but things will be far less lenient if you're perceived to be annoying by management. It's best to stay on their good side. 2. If you're working on frozen foods, and see that the freezer door has a large amount of fog built up from the inside, don't open it or even approach it. Try not to react to the teeth around the edges of the door, either. They react to prey opening their door and dragging them inside, but they also sense nearby heartbeats. If it senses you, don't let the tongue reach you. It will give up pursuit if you stay out of its range for a few seconds. 3. When stocking or facing shelves, make sure each item is stacked neatly in a row of at least 2. Failure to keep the aisles looking full this way will result in a write-up. You do not want to be in a meeting with management. 4. You will be working with 2 other employees for the night. There's me of course, and Todd. You can identify me by either growing a brain and remembering the dude who gave you this note, my name tag, or the fact I'm the only person who wears a beanie in the night crew. Though, make sure that the beanie is green. I only wear the same beanie, and if I'm wearing anything else, that's not me. Keep conversations with this doppelganger brief, but speak with them the same way you would with me. Do not acknowledge that you know it's a doppelganger, and when you end interactions, keep your eye on them until you break line of sight. 5. Todd isn't human. Treat him like one though. He works damn hard and is decent company for something that could eviscerate you. Todd is a smoker, and will occasionally take a smoke break. If he invites you out back with him, politely decline. The stuff he smokes has deadly fumes that can scar your skin, and far worse if you breathe it in. Otherwise, Todd is good to be around. He's our security guard, and any unruly customers are to be brought to Todd. Don't stick around for the aftermath, but rest assured that Todd is also our janitor. He makes sure to clean the messes that he makes. 6. Return all abandoned carts found around the store to the front end by 2 a.m. Failure to do this will result in a write-up. Remember to not accumulate too many, because nobody has come back down from a meeting with management. 7. If you encounter an employee with a name tag labeled Rick, tell him he can clock out for the night, and to rest in peace. Do not start a conversation with him, and don't look back at him after you've dismissed him. Rick was the worker in your position before you arrived, and he's the last one to talk with management. The only thing they left behind was his body. 8. Your hourly wage is $20 per hour. As much as calculating wages sucks, do it. Don't try to pocket extra money if you were given more than owed. Management likes to test an employee's wits. And if you find an error, file a complaint. Do not cash a check that is anything below or above your owed amount. Failure to comply will result in a write-up. 9. If you arrive at the store, and both entrances are locked and the lights inside are flickering, leave. Todd is dealing with a shoplifter, and it's not a pretty sight to see. I recommend the donut place to the left of the store to pass the time. Come back after 30 minutes and the store should be back to normal. Continue with your shift as normal, and give Todd a paper towel when you get a chance. He always forgets to clean his face after his job. 10. You have a radio, use it. When completing work on an aisle or section, radio to me and I will give you your next task. However, make sure that it's me giving the order. If you have suspicion that it's not me, say Rule 10. If I respond with "that's what the list is for," do what you were told. If you hear any other response, disregard it and go on your break. After your 15-minute break, radio me again and repeat Rule 10. Management will only try that trick once in a shift. That should be all. Feel free to chat with me during the shift. It gets lonely late at night. Same goes for Todd, but try not to mention meat around him, he gets easily excited. Remember these rules well, and enjoy your shift. James. Posted by u/GraceandPiston. Rules for GraveMart Night Shift, Deli and Meat Department. Heyo. Welcome to the Meat Department. You may have met James and Todd over in the grocery department, but I'm Mabel. We handle various orders for cuts of meat and food prep in this section. I've assembled a list of rules for you and any future employees in your position, but hopefully you'll stay for the long term. Please follow these rules, though. It's always sad to lose a co-worker. Rules for meat department. 1. Wash your hands often. Working with raw meat makes you prone to spread germs and bacteria. We want a sanitary workplace, of course. Besides, the smell of meat is not something you want to cling to you. 2. If a customer asks you for a cut of long pig, politely apologize, and tell them we don't carry that type of meat here. But make sure to recommend the substitute we have prepared. The customer has a craving, and you don't want to be the one to satiate it. 3. Occasionally, you may see someone in a well-tailored suit come to inspect the meat. If they have a badge labeled management, ask them if they would like to sample anything. We do not give free samples to anyone but management. Give them any meat they ask for, and do not make any remarks on the amount. 4. We have a large, walk-in oven for mass cooking meats. It turns off while the door is open to avoid employee accidents. If you need to restock any of the displays for meat, tell me that you're going inside. I will hold the door open while you're in there. Failure to tell me will likely result in the oven door closing on its own. I'd rather not find you charred on the floor. 5. If at any point you find an unlabeled bag of meat that appears to be shifting and moving, quickly pick it up and throw the bag into the outside dumpster. However, if Todd is outside on his smoke break, toss it to him instead. He'll appreciate fresh meat. 6. It's only you and me here. If anyone comes into our area and claims to be an employee, politely tell them to report to me for a meat pickup inside the oven. I'll need your help to keep the oven door closed. These are not employees, and they're strong. The oven might have a deadbolt, but there's a reason it's so dented. You can identify me by my curly hair and purple hair clips. 7. If the lights start flickering and both doors to the store lock suddenly, ignore anything else. Todd is dealing with shoplifters. Follow me to the walk-in freezer. Unlike the oven, this door can be opened from the inside. However, be wary inside the freezer. If you're suddenly feeling a lot colder and your skin starts to sting, blow on your hands. Do not give in to the cold. 8. Keep equipment in good condition. Cuts to meat have to be precise. If at any point you find equipment has a sudden buildup of rust on it, be sure to replace it immediately. We have spares of every single piece of equipment, though some of it needs 2 people to set up. 9. When preparing a meal for a customer, please be sure to keep their order exactly as asked, no matter how specific. But if they ask for the gravestone special, tell them that we are closing shortly, and do not have time to prep it. The gravestone special is something I refuse to keep the ingredients for, as I'd rather not bank on having someone forget Rule 4. 10. When giving a prepared order to a customer, take their payment first and leave it on the counter. Do not ever exchange items between direct contact, or else they might drag you over the counter alongside their order. That's all for now. We're a bit short-staffed in this department due to the danger, but we do get a higher wage than most other departments. Starting wage is $25 an hour, which is pretty nice if you can handle the stress. I look forward to working alongside you. Mabel. Posted by you/GraceandPiston. Rules for GraveMart Night Shift, Pharmacy. I'm not going to act like I'm happy to see you, because I'm not. People come here thinking it's going to be simple and easy, and then they get mauled and mutilated after a single slip-up. Do not expect me to remember your name. I'd rather not become attached to you. The rules for the pharmacy department are included in this letter. Keep a copy with you while working. My word has kept me alive, so it should keep you alive. 1. Wear a facial mask and a pair of rubber gloves at all times while in the back room. The fumes and chemicals can prove deadly to your lungs and exposed skin, and if you're a fan of keeping a healthy lifespan, you'll wear the same brand as me. The store-issued masks are too thin. 2. We have many repeat customers that might ask for large amounts of a specific drug. Do as they ask. We do not require prescriptions to provide something to a customer. Never ask for a prescription. 3. If you work in this department, don't go for a smoke break. It's best that you don't smoke in general, if you work in this department. The fumes cling to clothing and are quite flammable. A single spark can cook you alive. 4. For a select few customers, we have pre-prepared dosages of combined drugs and chemicals. If a customer asks for a fixer, ask them for a prescription note. If they are hesitant and have nothing to offer, call over Todd immediately. Fixers are quite addictive if abused, and those who are addicted will do anything for another hit. If they provide a proper note, find the bottle with the matching name. 5. Spend as little time in the back as possible. You are not alone while in there. If you need to spend a prolonged period of time in the back, Fasten your face mask as tight as possible, unless you want it ripped off. Wear a second pair of gloves as well, the chemicals might corrode the first layer before you leave. 6. I do not know your name. If I call you by your name, do not answer. Clock out for the day immediately, and make up a valid reason to go home. However, do not claim that you are sick, after all, you are in a pharmacy. 7. If you ever need to vomit for any reason, do it in the bathroom. Hold it in at all costs, and swallow it back down if you need to. Showing any sign of sickness in this department will make the customers show interest in you. 8. When stocking items on the shelf, look carefully at the tags. If you see an item for sale that has a mismatched label, or an incorrect name, take it off immediately, and put it in the back. Those are our specialty drugs and are not meant to be on the shelf. That concludes the rules for this department. If you make it for a prolonged period of time, I will call you something other than an associate. Maybe I'll learn your name, too. But remember, I will never call you by name on the job. Do not take the fewer rules as a feeling of less responsibility. This department is by far the most dangerous, aside from management. Apologies for the distance, as well. I don't wish to connect with my coworkers, because it hurts to lose them. I previously worked with James and Rick in the grocery department, but after Rick's run-in with management, I changed departments to disassociate with James. I wish him well, but I can't keep myself attached to people in such a volatile work environment. I will see you when your shift starts next week. Good luck. Gregory.